Welcome into Factfinder Investigates. I'm Dylan Domingue. The first lawsuit in the deadly Flight 5342 collision was filed this week. One of the families filed the suit against the government and the airline that's involved. Chicago attorney Bob Clifford says Wednesday's lawsuit filed by the family of Flight 5342 victim Casey Crafton is one we can expect multiple families to join in on. A federal law known as the Federal Tort Claims Act has delayed those cases. It allows the government 6 months from the date of the first filing to accept or deny those claims. Clifford says what makes this filing unique is the family's choice to file the suit against the government, American Airlines, and the manufacturer of the plane.
The passengers were relying on the airline to provide them with a safe environment, not only to allow the plane to travel where it did, but to put it into the hands of pilots who were properly prepared to be there, and the airline failed them. That is the allegation in the complaint, and we will prove it in court.
Clifford says he has been contacted by both the government and American Airlines. He expects more families to join in the suit. While no families have been named in that lawsuit, Clifford did confirm he does represent some families from Kansas. A follow-up now to a Factfinder story. This week, the FBI, El Dorado Police, and the local school district holding a town hall meeting to raise awareness about the dangers and warning signs of sextortion. Sextortion is when a person, usually a teenager, is scammed and then blackmailed or threatened with the public release of their sexual images or videos unless they meet certain demands. Over the summer, a middle school student in El Dorado became a victim of sextortion, which ended with him tragically taking his own life. The FBI says they've also seen a rise in cases of sextortion.
From 2021 to 2023, there have been more than 13,000 reports of sextortion cases, primarily affecting young boys.
El Dorado Public Schools will also show the presentation to students so they can also recognize signs and help their peers. The FBI says that if you suspect a sextortion case or are a victim, to contact law enforcement.
We're starting even farther back than what if we was doing it to start with.
A Wichita couple out more than $160,000 for a home project that was never finished. They came to Factfinder for help as it's an issue we've seen many times before. Homeowners paying money to a contractor up front, but the job doesn't get done. They're now working with the contractor's insurance company in hopes of getting some of that money back.
We extended the concrete out there so we could play cornhole.
Rodney Stewart and his wife thought they'd be enjoying their new deck by now.
He said he'd have it done by August 11th.
This is what the Stewarts wanted, a high-end porch and deck, and they were willing to pay for quality.
$264,000.
The Stewarts signed a contract with Danny Telford with Acute Construction. They paid him more than $80,000 before work even began. 2 months later, 2 more checks for another $84,000. But this is what the Stewarts have to show for it. No deck in sight, just the concrete that was poured.
If you look out there, there's not $85,000 worth of work done.
And about that concrete,
it looks terrible.
Rodney says it has to be torn back up and repoured.
Concrete was already starting to set up. They went ahead and used it anyway. One of the guys that is running this job turned around and told the general contractor, Danny, not to use it.
They subcontracted me.
That subcontractor spoke with me a day later. He asked us not to show his face, but said he apologized for what he called a subpar job and says he tried to warn Telford, the general contractor, what would happen if he poured concrete that day.
It shouldn't have been poured that day. We've been through that battle before. So it's nothing new to us, but when you have the constant pressure of somebody else saying to go for it, it kind of leans on them.
Rodney showed us the finished product, unlevel, cracking concrete.
It's like 3 steps back. I mean, we got to tear all that out.
Rodney asked for the concrete to be replaced. Acute Construction sent a letter saying it could be repaired, but only gave the Stewarts 7 days to respond. The problem? Rodney and his wife were on vacation when the letter arrived.
This is not the way you run a business, especially when you have somebody spending that kind of money with you.
And after spending tens of thousands of dollars, both Rodney and the subcontractor agree that they should have more to show for it.
I didn't pay for just the strength of the concrete. I paid for the look of the concrete too.
Look-wise, yes. I definitely agree that it would have to be demoed out and fully replaced.
Now Acute Construction is no longer responding. Ronnie plans to hire a different contractor to complete the job. Out already, more than $165,000.
Now I've got to just start all over again and see if I can get this thing done as soon as possible, because I want to enjoy my house and I can't right now.
Now, new information this week, Rodney met with the insurance company representing Acute Construction and has filed a claim with the hopes of getting some of that money back. The claim is currently being processed. Now, we also reached out to the general contractor with Acute Construction. Their attorney sent us a statement that they're ready and willing to work on potential options with Rodney, but say that us running the story would severely and possibly irreparably undermine the ability to reach an agreement. Now, if you are planning a big home improvement project, the Better Business Bureau says customers should divide their payments into thirds and avoid paying a large sum up front. It's also helpful to match your payments to the work that's being done. Ask for proof that materials have been purchased or delivered before paying for them. We do have a Factfinder alert as well regarding synthetic drugs here in Kansas. The KDHE issuing a warning this week on 7-OH products. So take a look here at your screen. That is the full name of it. State officials say 7-OH is marketed alongside kratom because it's found in those naturally in small amounts. However, officials say 7-OH products use synthetic compounds with much higher concentration and potency. Here's the danger. Mixing these with alcohol or other substances can cause severe breathing problems. It can even be deadly. They're sold at smoke shops, gas stations, and online, and they can be gummies, liquid shots, tablets, or powders.
Right now, the criminal elements are very much aware of our weaknesses, and they're manipulating them to steal consumer products and fuel their operations. And so the federal government needs to respond.
Cargo thefts on the rise nationwide, with thieves targeting trucks and trains, but there's a missing piece in the effort to crack down that problem.